You better have this. And we saw it with Russia. Russia prepared by buying, a lot of gold into this so that they could get around the sanctions. And of course, the whole world didn't go against Russia. And that has really been their safety net, their gold. So it needs to be everybody's safety net.
For centuries, gold and silver have been recognized as some of the most valuable assets. Even in this modern age, this notion has not changed. Gold and silver always have a high value, and more importantly, they perform well even during depression and economic changes. This is the main reason why they're considered one of the best forms of investment. The world is changing, and therefore the mining industry is shrinking. Miners are not undertaking as many projects as before due to environmental factors, security reasons, economic uncertainty, and more. Although not mined as much as it used to be, gold and silver are still in high demand, especially in the fashion industry. In addition, more and more industries value them more than ever. This is due to the uncertainty that accompanies other financial savings and investment transaction platforms. Due to the increase in demand, its value has increased lately. In today's video, we'll share why Lynette Zang believes anyone can get rich with gold and silver. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and press that bell icon to never miss an update. In the beginning, once they understood that you had gold and silver as your primary monetary metal or secondary monetary metal in limited supply, you have it and you own it. You don't run any counterparty risk. The gold that is kept at home does not run any political risk. So you have a lot of money and you have it, you own it, it becomes invisible. And because of this large demand base, central banks cannot undervalue this. So we go to paper money, we go to currency, and they can control their purchasing power value through inflation, which is part of the plan, because they know that not one man in a million understands inflation. Christine Lagarde and Jay Powell recently admitted that they don't understand inflation. But once we have CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, according to IMF reports, when we have CBDC, there will be no limits to lowering interest rates. So all of a sudden, you have a negative 4%, 5%, 10%, whatever, to signal to you that if you leave your money in the bank, you're trying to save it. It's just evaporating. So they're attacking your principal. Governments say they can tax for life. You make money today. They take those taxes away from you. You have no control and you have no privacy because they can dictate where you spend that money. Russia prepared by buying a lot of gold in order to circumvent sanctions. And of course, the whole world did not oppose Russia. And that has really been her safety net, their gold. Therefore, it must be everyone's safety net because it's outside the system, it's private, and it's real. And therein lies the broader demand base. When they implemented this fiat currency, fiat was just a government currency. In fact, they said people would not realize that because of inflation, because as inflation increases and their money lost purchasing power and they didn't follow the norm, their income didn't keep up with inflation. So you have to understand that with governments and central banks, it's always the wrong direction. They say that they complicate it a lot because when they do that, nobody questions it. The problem is that they make it so complicated that they can't even understand it anymore. Every time we go into an overheated economy or go into a recession, they would rather lower interest rates by 5.5% to 5.75% to stimulate borrowing and spending, because there's only one way to fight inflation, and that's with deflation. And there's only one way to fight deflation, and that's with inflation. Unlike with other inflation-sensitive investments, gold and silver are protected against inflation. Whether the value of the nation's currency decreases or increases, gold and silver are not subject to this uncertainty. Based on historical analysis, precious metals are famous for performing well even during economic devastation and depression. Unlike most physical assets that depreciate over time, gold and silver appreciate or hold the same value. Like all other investments in gold and silver have their pros and cons. They have their good days and their bad days. Either way, its benefits are exciting, from generational investment to inflation proofing. Gold and silver are certainly worth their weight.
So in the beginning, or once they figured out that you had gold and you had silver, primary currency metal, secondary currency metal, limited quantity, I hold it, I own it, it runs zero counterparty risk.
That's all for today. Let us know your views in the comment section below. And don't forget to like this video before leaving. Thanks for watching.